Welcome everybody, my name is Pavel, and in today's video I would like to show you how to apply monitoring of your Jenkins instance from zero to hero utilizing tools like Docker, Prometheus and Grafana. First thing first, for this video I was inspired by these gentlemen, Dikshit SN, so please go support uh, this video right there. But I would like to add some details from my perspective and how to actually achieve monitoring of Jenkins from scratch in total, because I would like to get a little bit more details. First thing that we need to do, we are logged into AWS, so please create an account at the AWS, and then you need to create an EC2 instance. So what we will do now is that we will launch an instance and we will call it Prometheus tutorial, or call it whatever you want. And we are going to be using Ubuntu machine. And I highly suggest that you're going to be using. I tried using Medium before, but it was not really sufficient. It was kind of laggy. So therefore, when I do this, I would suggest T3 that large. But you can go with Medium, but I think it's not worth it because it was a little bit laggy. You can provide some key, or you can create a key. Not really required for this guide, but if you don't have it, then you can create a new key pair here, where you will just provide a name if you want .pem or .ppk, and you will create a new file. Anyway, then we are having you can either create a new security group, like for example here, as you can see, you can create security group, allow SSH traffic from anywhere. So that's what you can do. But I already have in my situation, I already have one security group. The settings for this one is that the same as the previous one, just allow traffic from everywhere. So it does not really matter, just to showcase for the purpose of this video. And that's pretty much it. So you just launch the instance, Ubuntu instance here. And now it's launching it. Let's have a look here. Or we can have a look. Instance. Prometheus tutorial. Let me just. Prometheus tutorial. Is it already launched? It was actually pretty fast. Anyway, let's just connect. And we are connecting. And I want to see the terminal. So we are connecting now. Just a second. Goody. So we are now in our EC2 instance. So first thing, you can go here and find this repository where I'm documenting all of the commands that we're going to be using today. First thing that what you need to do is that we need to install Docker. Control C. What I will do now is that, let me check, where are we? Okay, CD Ubuntu. I'll put it on the other side so you can see a little bit better. Let's do it like this. Okay, ls. Anyway, what we will do now is that we will do vi docker.ch. Then I press I. I'm in the insert mode. Right click, paste. What I will do now is Control C. Then column WQ exclamation mark, like this. Enter. And now we have written this file, as you can see here by the content. Anyway, what we do now is sh docker.sh, and this will install the Docker for us. So now the Docker is being installed. I will pause the video while the installation is in progress. Okay, so it looks like Docker is now installed. We can verify Docker as it looks, and we can check we are not having any running images. Anyway, what we will do now is that we will you can basically run these commands to install the containers that we will need. So first thing, we will need a Prometheus one. So what we are doing now is that we are using a command called docker run. -d means that we are running in detached, so it can run as a background. We are naming it Prometheus, and we are opening it on the ports 9090, and we are fetching this image from Prometheus. If it cannot find the image locally, then it will fetch the image online. As you can see here, unable to find image locally, pulling image from prom/Prometheus. So now we downloaded Prometheus image, and if you can see by our active images, it is right there. So what we need to do now, we will need also for this demo a Grafana. So the same thing, docker run Grafana, name it Grafana, and open it on port 3000. We don't have it locally, so now it's downloading. That's fine. And the last one is going to be our Jenkins itself, because the purpose of this video is to monitor Jenkins. Anyway, docker run. So we open it on ports 8080 Jenkins and use the latest one. So it's installing the Jenkins now. So meanwhile, what we can do is that let me go to my EC2 instances, and the one that we are using now, EC instances, we are using this one tutorial. Oh, not that one. Doing something else. This one, Prometheus tutorial. This is the one that we are using, and the public IP is this one. By the way, just information: if I would restart this instance, or I would shut it down and then I would turn it on, the public IP address would be renewed. So what you can do if you don't want that is that you can research something called elastic IP address in AWS. Anyway, and we can see now that our Jenkins container has been installed. So if I do docker ps, you can see that we are now having one container, Jenkins container running, one Grafana container running, and one Prometheus container running. So what we will do now is that we are initializing our Jenkins, and as you can see here is that we will need to go here /var/Jenkins. However, be aware that you cannot just go here cd/var/Jenkins. If I do that and I search, there is no Jenkins here. How is it possible? Because we have installed a Docker container. So what you would need to do is that you would need to actually go inside the container itself. And for that, you would need to use a command called docker exec -it and the Docker ID. So let me just go back here. We will type docker ps and I will paste it. And then we will need to take this container ID, copy it, and we will need to replace this section. And now if I ls, we are inside of the Jenkins container. So as you can see here, it says that the initial password is located here. So what we will do now is that we will do cat to show the content of a text file, and then I'm pasting this full path, and this is a text file or whatever file it is. And if I press enter, then it will show me the initial password. I will take it, I will copy it, and I will come here and I will start it here, paste it, continue, and now we are initializing our Jenkins. It wants to store it, no. Install suggested plugins, that's fine. And now the Jenkins is getting installed. I will pause the video while the installation is going on. So we need to provide admin. That's right, admin. And let me provide my Gmail. Admin, save and continue. As the password is kind of low, Jenkins URL. I'm just setting it up for the purpose of this video, so it's a little bit easier. That's fine. Now. What we will need to do now is that I will need to go here, manage Jenkins. What I will need to do now is that I will need to go to plugins. Then I will need to go to available plugins. And I will need to search something called Prometheus metrics. This one, I will install it without restart. Actually, we will need restart. Restart Jenkins when installation is complete and no jobs are running. So let me click that. Okay, so now Jenkins is restarting. While Jenkins is restarting, I will just pause for a second. Okay, so what happened is that the Jenkins was getting restarted, and as you can see here, I typed docker ps, and Jenkins was not there. So I searched for all of the containers, and we can see that the Jenkins shut down because while installing the plugins, so the restart, for some reason it exited. But anyway, what I did afterwards is that I typed docker start and the ID of the container to start the container, and as we can see now, the Docker container is running. So what we will do now is that we will log in, admin, and we will verify that our plugin has been installed. So manage Jenkins, and we will need to go to we will need to go to plugins, this one, and what we will need to do is that we will search for not install plugins, and we will need to search for a Prometheus metrics plugin. For this one, we can see that it is installed. So what we can do now is that we can verify that the Prometheus endpoint is working. Prometheus here, and we can see that at the moment we are having all of this data available in the Prometheus format, that the Prometheus is using a Prometheus language that Prometheus will be able to scrape. And if you want to adjust this endpoint so it's not going to be /Prometheus but something else, you could actually set it up in the configuration over here. You could set it up over here. You can change the path, and you can change how often the metrics is going to be collected. So you could change it here. Anyway, we are now having the endpoint available, right? And you're using your Jenkins, you're having some jobs here, everything is running, right? What we will need to do now is that we will need to go back over here to our terminal, and the next step is going to be setting up our Prometheus. We can go back to the instructions. So we have installed the containers and we have installed Prometheus metrics. We can see this endpoint is exposed. So what we will need to do now is that we will need to go into our Prometheus container. So this one, paste it and copy the container ID of the Prometheus container. This one, cd back ls cd etc ls cd Prometheus tab ls. So we are having Prometheus.yaml. What we need to do is Prometheus vi Prometheus.yaml. We press I to go into the insert mode. We go all the way to the bottom, enter, and we will take this section right here, Control C, and we will right click, paste. So the same thing as you can see here is that we are, as Prometheus is scraping itself, Prometheus matrix on a localhost 1990, we are adding another job, and the job name is going to be called Jenkins. The path is going to be /Prometheus, so it will find this path, this IP /Prometheus. Therefore, it's very important that you don't put here something like this, because in that case it would be, as I experienced, it would be like /Prometheus, which is incorrect. So it should be like this. Matrix path would be /Prometheus, because that's what we can see here. And the static config is targets 18. Yeah, so that looks good. Control C colon WQ exclamation, and we just verify that it has been changed. And what you can do is that you can use like a YML linter, copy YAML linter, this one, Control V, valid YAML. And let me just, so it looks fine, everything looks fine. What we need to do now, exit docker ps docker restart this container, and it should restart really fast. So 1 2 3, we type docker ps, so it's right, and it's on 1990. So we take this one, we go here, and we type 1990. It should be available here. And then let's search for Jenkins, and we can see a lot of this Jenkins information or endpoints or whatever you want to call it. And all this information, this matrix, are being scraped from the /Prometheus endpoint on Jenkins. And what we can do now is that we will go to, we can see that the Grafana is on port 3000, so we will take this, we will go here, 3000, and we set it up admin, press enter. Just let's put admin, enter. Not. What you will do now is that you will add your first data source. Click here, Prometheus. We can call it Prometheus, and it's going to be it's going to be this one. Select this one, Control C, Control V here. Save and test. Successfully queried the Prometheus API. Next thing what you're gonna do is you're gonna build a dashboard, and you will add a visualization, and you will add the Prometheus as the data source that we have added. And what you can do now is select metrics. What I like to do, what might be relevant for you, is to be actually checking the memory status, how much memory is actually allocated and how much memory is actually being utilized, right? That might be important for you. Or you can be checking the heap memory and other information. Allocated bytes, let's just check this one, and it's going to be, let's just use the regular stat, just a second, run query. So you can see the allocated bytes here for information, and we apply it, and we just created our first dashboard like this. But what is better to do is that we can save the dashboard as new dashboard, whatever, in the folder general. So if I would click here, general, we can see it here. But what we can do is that we can click new dashboard, add visualization. No, not like that. Just a second. What we can do is that we need to import the dashboard. New import, and from grafana.com you can be finding some really nice dashboards. For example, this one, 9964. It's pretty good, but I would still improve some stuff. But you can, of course, afterwards improve some stuff that you don't like. We import it. Oh, the data source is going to be our Prometheus data source that we have added. And you can see now information, Jenkins health, how many executors are free. And you can see the CPU usage, for example, here, as I mentioned. So you can see how much of the CPU that is available to this Jenkins container is actually going to be used, right? But of course, you can, on grafana.com, you can be finding some more dashboards presets, or you can be then afterwards changing the dashboard preset based on your requirements. So that will be pretty much everything for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like on the video, and have a nice day. Bye bye.